The Atlanta Hawks drop Game 6 to the Philadelphia 76ers 104-99 in a back-and-forth slugfest championship boxing match kind of game and head to Philly for Game 7 and a chance at the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's get into it. What's going on, Atlanta? My name is Jeff Rawlins, and this is Atlanta Sports Raw, your one-stop shop for everything Atlanta sports. We talk Hawk, we talk Braves, we talk Falcons, and we talk Atlanta United. And today we're going to be reviewing the Game 6 loss from the Atlanta Hawks to the Philadelphia 76ers, 104-99. And man, it was just a game of runs, a game of back and forth, good defense, and struggling offenses for both teams in the fourth quarter. So let's dig into the nitty-gritty of what happened. Of course, Atlanta was at home. Emotions were pretty high to start, and the crowd was jumping. And it stayed that way because Atlanta was very hot to start. They went on a 10-2 run to start. Trey was getting whatever he wanted. They were doing a lot of double picks to kind of escape the trap, and he was finding that second pass. He was finding Capella a lot open. He was, posting up. He was also getting the lob and just finding all the options. All the starters had points within the first 6 minutes of the game, which is huge. He was spreading it around, and offensively, we were just keyed in to start. Defensively, to start off, we were very aggressive, causing turnovers, kind of attacking the ball before it got to the perimeter, and we saw that Simmons got a quick 2 fouls. That was kind of a trend in the game. He kept getting in foul trouble and kept kind of being a non-factor offensively. Was very aggressive defensively, and that's why he got in so much foul trouble. But the Hawks were shooting really good to start, especially in the first quarter. Capella was a lot better early on in this game than he was in the games past. All the Hawks kind of got cold as the game went on, but Capella was really good. Embiid just kind of seemed slow on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, and kind of throughout the whole game, he was kind of off his rhythm offensively, taking some long twos and some weird turnarounds and even some threes that weren't going, but he was pretty much good defensively the whole game. He was one of the bright spots. And so Curry kind of ends that early Atlanta run, hits a big 3 off of a timeout. At that point, it was 20-13. At that point, the Knicks were playing a little bit better D, and that's when the offense just kind of started going downhill for the Hawks. And we kept leaving Curry on the perimeter to find those open jump shots and just kind of giving up when we decided to double team either Embiid or Harris down in the post. We wouldn't track back to that open shooter on the perimeter, and Curry was just shooting lights out. Continued to be really hot in this game, as he was in the last game. The Hawks missed 5 straight shots, and then finally hit a couple to bring it to 25-20. They really cooled down. And eventually Philly does tie it at 29. Maxey was kind of in and out of the bench for Simmons. Simmons didn't play nearly as much as he had in the last couple games. Obviously, Doc kind of heard the message, and he was providing a lot of energy, especially on the opposite side of the board. After Philly had that run to kind of tie it up, Trey just went off. It was a 10-0 run after that, got it up to 39-29, and Trey was just getting whatever he wanted. He was hitting some threes, getting to the rim really easily, and Bogdanovic still continued to struggle. He was very bad in this game. Later on, we got the news that he was out with some right knee soreness, but and then after the game, Herter kind of alluded to the fact that he might have been dealing with that all series. which makes sense. With these jump shooters, it's all about rhythm. So if you mess up one, put a little kink in their leg or their ankle or their elbow, it just changes everything. So if you throw off that rhythm, that could have been why Bogdanovich was struggling so much. But again, he was really bad in this game. Just an over from beyond the arc, and I think one for 6 before he went off for that major amount of time. But as far as Trey goes, whether it was Simmons or Maxey, they just couldn't keep up with him. He was getting inside, getting outside, finding that pass. And then we saw Simmons get his 3rd foul and went out for a good amount of time. This was in the 2nd quarter. And Philly actually did really good to stay as close as it should have been, or as close as they did. It should have been a bigger lead at halftime for the Hawks. They were the better team that first half. It was pretty clear. But Philly showed some resolve in this game, especially in the 4th quarter, that they hadn't showed this whole series. I mean, no one would have blamed them after those last 2 games to just mentally check out. They're better than me. To go through that and to come back with this kind of resolve and play as good of a game as they did, without actually shooting very well, kind of like the Hawks did the last couple games. They didn't play to their potential, but they still won, and that hopefully that confidence won't carry over too much into Game 7, and the Hawks can continue to shoot like they did in the first half of this game. But it was a great game from Philly. Trey had 7 assists in the first half and 21 points. He was just so good, and no turnovers. The ball security was really good until the 4th quarter. Overall, as a team, besides Trey, we weren't shooting very well, but they were getting very good looks offensively. That's why it should have been higher scoring than it was. We kind of let Philly hang around, and Philly's defense was a part of that. They adjusted, and Tobias Harris was actually a big part of this. He was a lot better this game. I've kind of been saying this whole series that whoever wins the Tobias Harris John Collins battle is a very easy way to say, okay, they're probably going to win. The last 2 games, John Collins has greatly outplayed Tobias Harris, and in this game, Collins only like 7 points. He was pretty good on the boards, but obviously Philly out rebounded Atlanta pretty well. But Tobias Harris was just much better offensively in this game, and Embiid was very good on the defensive end of the floor. He was just he was getting blocks. He was forcing turnovers. And like I said, Philly was out-rebounding Atlanta very clearly in the first half. Right before the half ended, Young found a great pass to Herter for an open 3, and he sinks it. And then Young hits that crazy 34-footer from the logo to take him to 20 points for the half. And it was 51-47 going into the half. Again, it could have been more. We didn't actually play through our offensive potential, but our defense was fine. That was another big trend of the game. I thought defensively all game we were very good. Philly was very good too. They weren't as good as our defense in the first quarter, but that was pretty much the difference. That Philly turned it on really good late and scored enough to win them the game late, and the Hawks didn't. But we'll get to that. Now, the third quarter, not a good start for the Hawks at all. Curry hits 3 straight three-pointers with one from Embiid in between there, but 3 straight attempts from him go in, and a 2, and they take a 14-point run to start the quarter. Just ridiculous. They were down 4, and then they were up 10 in like a matter of 2.5 minutes. And Atlanta was missing everything early on. At that point, they were 4 of 15 from 3. I kept saying we needed to bump Curry or something, or pressure him to the ball. He had 17 points at that point. So we called a timeout, kind of slowed things down. But they were just hitting in transition a lot. They were getting turnovers or getting quick defensive rebounds and able to play on the transition. And Curry just couldn't miss to help that. Capella had a lob pass to end that run at the beginning of the third quarter from Philly. But other than that, it was just sloppy offense by Atlanta and good defense by Philly. It was 68-59 at that point. So, and Bogdanovich did finally hit a shot to bring it to that. He looked very, very relieved when he finally made that shot too. It was kind of funny. Then we saw Collins make that big throwdown dunk over Embiid to get the foul and the and-one. Just what a poster dunk. He went like 3 feet over Embiid's head with his hand to throw it into the rim. Just a great play. At that point, Embiid, Simmons, and Curry all had 3 fouls, so that was something to watch out for. And for the next like 3-4 minutes, it got really, really fast paced. It was just back and forth. Lots of quick drives to the basket off the first pass, especially from like Trey and Tobias Harris. But Trey continued to hit his threes. And like I said, he was getting whatever he wanted, mostly on the offensive side. He did cool down, obviously, in the fourth quarter. But he was finding those passes as well. He found Gallo for a 3 to make it 72-70. So Atlanta was climbing their way back in. And then Curry responds with another one, just staying hot. He had 6 3-pointers, and there was 11 total for Philly at that point. And then Harris was really good at the same time in this game. He was 18 points at that point. And it was 80-76 going into the fourth quarter. They did bring Lou Williams and Okongwu in to like end off that fourth quarter and into the third. And Okongwu was really good on the defensive side again. He did miss both those free throws, and then Bogey missed 2 more right after that. It was very weird. He's so in his head right now. Obviously, that might have something to do with the knee. We don't know a whole lot about that, but Okongwu was really good on defense. I think he moves laterally a little better than Capella and takes advantage of that. Maxey was really good off the bench, coming in for Simmons. Just very energetic, like I said. And then there was that weird play on Lou Williams. And I'm about to rant here for a second because maybe I just don't understand like the exact definition of why that is a foul, or I just didn't see it right. But okay, so he comes, he's following Maxey and hits Howard that's screening for him. So he runs into the screen, and then Howard just takes him and throws him down. Like it was called a grabbing foul on Lou Williams. And obviously they had to review it because Maxey made the 3, and they had to see if it was during the foul or after it or before it. I don't get that. Like, someone please explain it to me in the comments, like why that was a foul on Lou Williams. I could just be ignorant to the actual rules, didn't see it right. Just I didn't think that was a foul at all. But man, we had to rebound better. Philly beat us to the boards every time. They were getting those second and third chances, and we just weren't. I mean, we had a few putbacks, but that was about it. And Philly just kept hitting us on the quicker transition points off those rebounds. Young does hit another big three to kind of end a long scoreless drought. He had 31 points at that point. And then we finally started hacking Ben Simmons. And when we did, that was the first Philly starter to attempt a free throw in the game. In the fourth quarter, no starter had taken a free throw in the whole game until Simmons did then. And we ended up hacking him twice. He did make 2 of 4, but, I mean, the numbers tell you that still works out. I thought they needed to do it more. Doc was actually very good about taking him out when he needed to. I thought Doc coached a much better game this time. Not that he outcoached McMillan in this game. It was just better than it has been. I thought we were going to that kind of isolation, one drive ball too much. Thought we needed to move the ball around more and find some more open looks because we weren't making those kind of ISO pull-ups or the drives. It was 87-81 at that point with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. That's when we hacked Simmons the second time. And I thought the Hawks were missing a lot of shots that just went in and out, just some unlucky spins on those basketballs, I guess. But then we saw that Embiid offensive foul on Collins that followed with a double technical because Embiid runs into him, gets the foul, which it was the right call. And then Collins pushes him while they're both on the ground, and then he gets up and takes offense to that. There wasn't anything crazy about that. It didn't change the scoreboard at all with it being a technical or double technical, but just something to note. We did get a report right after that that was when we heard about Bogey's right knee and that he wouldn't return to the game. And at that point, it was 94-87 with 3 minutes left. Gallo had a big three, and it was our first field goal in like a 4-minute period. And then we saw that huge three-pointer where Trae Young almost loses the ball out of bounds. He's got Maxey on him and like is in the corner fading away and hits a rainbow three, and it goes. I don't know how he made that shot. It was just crazy, and Trae Young's just really good at basketball. But at that point, it was 94-93. He had 34 points and 11 assists at that point. And then the lights went out, which was a crazy moment. Like in the stadium, the lights went out. And the fans were kind of liking it. They put out their phone flashlights and stuff, and everybody made the, Trae Young shot the lights out joke. But then they came back on. Embiid makes a two-pointer and then a free throw the next possession, and we're back down to 4. I thought we needed to foul Simmons before he was taken out, and then he does get taken out, so we kind of lost that opportunity. Then Maxey goes to the line, misses 1, and we're down by 5. So I'm not going to go into play-by-play, just repeatist of the last a minute and a half with all the fouling and all the timeouts and stuff. You can go watch the game if you want to see exactly what happened. There was just 2 things that I noticed. Like, neither coach did anything wrong. Doc played it very well. He took Simmons out at the right times and brought him back in for defense on that last play. We were just too slow to score. We got a quick dunk from Gallo, and then on the next possession, Herter does hit a floater. I thought we needed a 3 there, and I thought it needed to be quicker. It took like 14 seconds off the clock for him to get that floater. And they didn't have enough time to score enough. But the last minute and a half were not what lost the Hawks the game. It wasn't anything weird in that. it was actually kind of chalk. Philly held its 4-point lead for that last 2 minutes. So it was nothing special about those last minutes, is what I'm saying. And if you want to know the exact play-by-play, just go watch it. But that was Game 7. Harris makes his last 2 free throws, and Young just takes it out and walks to the locker room. 104-99. The biggest thing to me to kind of look at as this game ends, that Philly won, and they only shot 4 of 18 in the fourth quarter, which tells you how bad the Hawks offense was and how good their defense was. This was a defensive performance. They could have been in it late, and they should have been in it late if their offense had just gotten maybe 10% more production. They probably win the game. But this defensive performance is something to take into Game 7. If you told me I got this performance and put it into Game 7, like not knowing what the offense is going to do, I'd take that bet. Like, I think the Hawks are a 6-point underdog right now. Put my mortgage on that bet if I get this defensive performance. That's how good it was. Philly was really good on D2, but like the offenses kind of matched like what each other were doing. The Hawks would go on a big run to start. Philly would match, and then the Hawks respond, and Philly would match. And really the biggest difference in the game is that start of the third quarter where Philly got those 14 straight points. That was the biggest run of the night and won them the game. It was, just like I said in the intro, a championship boxing match where, both guys are getting in blows. It just seems like one guy gets those 2 or 3 blows in a row, and that wins him the match or wins him the fight. That's what this game was. It was very close. It was a really well coached and it wasn't that well played. Both teams played pretty sloppy. It was just a good game, and Philly deserved to win it. They won the game based on everything Atlanta did and didn't do. But they have so much potential that they haven't unlocked in this series. We haven't seen a whole game of good offensive production. Like, we've only really had 2 good halves. This first half in this game, and then the first half in Game 1. So there's a lot they can take into Philly. It will be a hostile environment, but the game is winnable. The Philly is going to be favorited. They're obviously at home. They should be. They're the number 1 seed. But the Hawks can win this game. They can go into Philly and take games. We've seen that twice already in this series. And there's a reason the series is tied. Both these teams are very good, and it could go either way. So it is winnable. I'm looking forward to that Game 7. I can't wait to watch it on Sunday. It's going to be the later game, and it will determine who goes to the Eastern Conference Finals. But that's it for tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all. Go Hawks, and God bless. See you, ATL.